God's gift, God's message. You're watching Christ High Magazine. We're talking about, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. And so, in this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, you have the blood sacrifices. They was offering their babies up to the Nephilim, to the giants. Now you have to take into account that back then these giants were real giants. Like, they were 40 feet tall, 13 feet tall, 25 feet tall giants, right? Very big. They were reptilians. They were like serpent seated. Like, they were serpents, but they walked on 2 feet and they crawled. Like, it was a trip. And they back then in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were ran by these reptilian kings and queens. And these reptilian kings and queens were here in their demon form, in their presence, in the demon form, right? And God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of the evil things that was taking place there. The blood sacrifices, the baby sacrifices, the disregard for life, the greed, the selfishness, the envy, the pride, the jealousy, the homosexuality that was being practiced there, the lack of morality, the lack of regard for human life, all of the whole mentality. God had to destroy those people, right? So what happened was the reptilians was cast out, and then they began to engineer. And they began to engineer and try to create a humanoid so where they can be reptilians but appear as human form, right? And so, over time and over centuries, they begin to do that, right? Then instead of, worshiping the actual reptilian in its reptilian form, they replaced the reptilian, for statues, right? They replaced the actual reptilian for a statue, and you really seen a lot of that worship come into place during the Hellenistic empire, when Rome and Greece was into to these false gods who are really Nephilims, were really demons, you know what I mean? And they created these statues of Zeus and Athena and Serena and Venus and all these false god statues, right? And people would go and they would cut themselves in front of the statue to worship the statue, or they would go and they would sacrifice their baby in front of the statue, right? Or they would go to these sign temples, right? And engage in these orgies to worship the statue, right? And that was taking place. What are you going to do when they remove the statue and the actual reptilian comes back? Because that's going to happen soon. Hopefully you won't see it. Hopefully you will, be raptured up. Hopefully you will ascend before December 21st or during December 21st. You'll be raptured up out of here. You know what I mean? If you're left behind, God be with you. Hopefully you're strong. The race is given to the swift, nor is it given to the might, but it's to those that endure to the end. But it's your choice. See what I'm saying? It's your choice. You're making this choice. You're making the choice to worship these people when you allow yourself or your family or your friends to go and have abortions. What do you think that is? Abortions are blood sacrifices. What do you think orgies are? All this gay right thing, it's sad to say, but the homosexuals are being so misled and so used by these Nephilims to carry out an agenda. They're ushering in the reptilians. They're ushering it in. You know what I'm saying? And you want to protect these homosexuals and legalize gay marriages and all of this? Come on, man. You know, I'm not against the person, but I'm against the sin, and we have to call it how it is. Just like it hurts me to say that the homosexual is being used by Satan to carry out an agenda, a Luciferian agenda. It hurts me to say that, but you know, they have to take some responsibility in this. They're actually ushering in the reptilians in the manifested physical form, right? So all of it is this Sodom and Gomorrah. All of it is Sodom and Gomorrah. David, you know, he picked up the what do you think baseball is, right? What do you think baseball? What do you think football is? What do you think the COLLISUEMS are all about, right? The other day the Giants played. Giants been getting whipped for years. Now all of a sudden, you know, come 2011. Borderline 2012, they want to call themselves winning a World Series. Who controls the World Series? Who controls baseball federation? The Illuminati, right? You think it was a coincidence that the Giants won? Nah, it ain't no coincidence that the Giants won. They're ushering in the reptilians back here on Earth. That's what they're doing with this baseball stuff and this football stuff. People go to these stadiums and they worship pagan stuff. You don't even know the history behind baseball. All right, let me give you some basic, bare minimum history on what's going on in supernatural, because Satan is the mockery of God. He always tries to imitate or impersonate God. Try to take that which is good and try to make it bad or manipulate people with it. So when David took 5 stones, right, and he used 1 stone in the slingshot, and he shot the rock, and he pierced the head of Goliath. Goliath was a giant. He was a Nephilim. He was reptilian. He was a serpent-seated being. And David hit him in the forehead with a rock. Then he ran and he took the sword of the giant and he cut his head off. Right? This is spiritual. Right? And then all of the Israelites seeing the courage and the bravery that they killed, that this boy shepherd had actually threw a stone, a rock, and killed the biggest and most feared giant of the time. They all rejoiced, celebrated, and they came down and they defeated Goth, the land of the giants, and the Philistines, the direct enemies of God at the time. Right? The Philistines, they were serpent-seated reptilian giants, right? So Satan, what does he do now? Because he's contacted people and channeled these, you know, so-called ascended masters, which are really Illuminati. I mean, which are really reptilians. You know, communicating with human beings, and they come up with baseball. The rock that David threw at Goliath, right, is the baseball. Okay. You see how it's spiritual and physical? So the baseball bat, I mean the sword that David used to cut off Goliath's head is the baseball bat that they try to use to avoid the stone in the head. You know what I'm saying? Hit the baseball. Hit the rock so that it goes out of the park. Defend the reptilians. Do you see how demonic this baseball game is? You see what I'm saying? Do you see the agenda of Satan in the baseball game? Right? So the baseball bat is to hit the ball, right? Because the ball represents the stone rock that was thrown in Goliath's forehead that killed him, right? So that they want to hit the baseball, the stone, out of the park. Get it out of our environment. Get it out of our nation. Hit these stones. Hit the stones. That's what the symbology behind baseball is. Then you have the baseball stadium, right? When David had threw the rock at Goliath and hit him in the forehead and killed him, he came and he cut off his head. The Israelites rejoiced. It was a war cry, and they came in and they defeated all of the Philistines. They defeated Gath, which was the city of the giants, right? And they cut their heads off, because that's how you kill a giant. You cut their head off, right? That the stadium, the baseball stadium, becomes a praise. They celebrate when you hit the stone out of the park to protect the Nephilim reptilians. Can you see it? I mean, do you see it? Can you get it? Right? People will actually go watch the Giants play baseball and root for them way harder than they root for Jesus Christ. Listen, this is more symbology. The actual stadium, right? The Candlestick Park Stadium that they're going to watch the Giants play baseball and worship is really a portal. It's a portal. It's a whole channel. It's a channel and it's a portal. It's a channel and it's a portal that the reptilian giants have opened up. These so-called ascended masters have opened up. And now they're receiving worship and praise and strength. They're coming in and up through that channel, that portal of worship that's taking place in the stadium when you go watch the Giants play baseball. You see what I'm saying? So what is the Giants winning the World Series about? It's about saying the reptilians have won. The giant reptilians have won the World Series. Right? That's what it's saying. What is the Raiders about? Open up the black hole. Raiders. Open up the black hole. Oakland Raiders. Come on, man. Are you serious? Are you really looking at the logo on the Raiders? This is what you worship? People tattooing Raider on their body and Raiders all over their car. They'll put a Raider bumper sticker on their car, turn their whole car, their whole truck into a Raider thing. Promoting death. And demon worship. The Raider Stadium is the black hole, they call it. That is the actual portal that they've created. These ascended demons have created to portal back down. Why, man, they killing people, man. Come on, man. They killing the Raiders fans, killing people, killing other people's fans, tipping over their cars. Why? Because they go to the Raider Stadium, which is the channel for the Raider reptilians, and they get that spirit. That spirit jumps on them, and then they go into the parking lot and have sex in the parking lot, right? All type of stuff go down at the Raider tailgating parties and after parties, and blood sacrifices going behind the scenes at the Raider Stadium. You know what I mean? It's worship. It's worship of these demons. You know, all of these basketball teams, those are portals that you're opening up. All of this has symbolic meaning, right? So when the Giants win, when you hit the baseball out of the stadium, the whole stadium roars. They get excited, right? They're worshiping. Oh, we just avoided a rock that was thrown at us. You know, that's what the Giants is all about, man. That's what the A's are about. The symbolism of A's represents, you know, the demon Abagor. It represents the demon Abagor as well as the demon Asmodeus. Asmodeus is a demon that commands 60 legions. Abagor is a demon that commands 60 legions. Where do you think you get the word big from? Big, Abagor, big gore. These are big demons that you're playing with when you go watch the A's play baseball. Oakland Athletics. Big demons that you playing with. You know what I'm saying? When you go watch the San Francisco 49ers play. When you go watch the Cowboys play. Dallas Cowboys. Big demons that you playing with. They tell us when we was younger that the Cowboys and the Indians, that the Indians was bad and the Cowboys was good. The Cowboys came over here, took and killed off all of the land, raped the women, scalped the men, killed the buffaloes for no reason. And the Cowboys are the good guys? The Indians are the bad guys? Look at the symbolism in all of this. Really open up your eyes in the name of Jesus Christ. I bind up all powers of Asmodeus. I bind up all powers of Abagor and all legions commanded by Abagor and all legions commanded by Asmodeus, and cast them out to the bottomless pits in the name of Jesus Christ.